Raven. That's Vicky.
Now we good?
Oh, yeah.
Volunteered or volunteered.
Call the board meeting to order. The records show that all present except Alderman Black. Mr. Glorioso leads in the invocation. Mr. Hoffman pledge of allegiance to the same.
Everybody, bow your head. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking you, God, to bless us and support as we keep this meeting. Help us engage.
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, item 3 is going to be postponed to a later date. Move on to agenda public comment. Public is invited to address all of 3 minutes each, for a maximum period of 30 minutes on the regarding issues listed on this agenda. Please identify yourself and your job.
Good evening. Esther Payton. We did receive letters for those who chose to opt out of the urban renewal development plan. But in doing that, we have portions, we do understand that if any funds become available, that we are not entitled to that. But we need to know, are we going to receive a legal document stating that we are removed from the urban renewal development plan and that the label of blight and our slum is going to be removed from our properties?
Yes, ma'am.
We will receive a legal document stating that.
Yes, you will.
Also, when you all, someone else is in these seats, say 5 years down the road, are we going to face this again?
Can't say that. We'll be here in 5 years. This board won't.
So we're back really and truly at square one, because anyone else who comes in can go back and revive what you all have chose to allow people to opt out at this current time.
The map would have to be redrawn again, have to be amended. Robert, am I correct on that?
That's correct. You're opting out, but the map is being redrawn, so you're not part of it. You're totally out.
Currently,
Currently, and someone in the future would have to come in and go through the process of amending the map and start that all over.
okay, and we would still be up under the Mississippi Law 2020 to where this can take place, and we have 10 days to respond, but not receive a letter, an email, or anything, or contact.
We're going to address some of this later on in the agenda, and I think it'll be clear for you then.
You want to wait till then?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Ms. Baker. Does anyone else like to address the board about the agenda item?
Good evening. I'm Robert Zellner, 411 Oakwood Drive, Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I'm rising in the hopes of stirring you towards looking into the future of this board. Because there are things that can be done. We can recognize our Constitution, our state constitution, and our federal constitution for being opposed to this type of development. The Constitution of Mississippi is very, very specific about what this process can include. It does not include rush jobs that fall outside the bounds of our Constitution. Two areas concerning most. One is equal treatment under the law. There are many people that live outside of Area 4, and they want equal treatment. The other item is the morality of what's been done. I know there are no laws affecting morality, except the law that lives in Vermont. Was this done in a moral fashion? Each one of you ask that question of yourself and keep your answer to yourself. But was it done with moral clarity? Thank you for letting me talk. Yes, thank you.
Anyone else who would like to speak?
Actually, I just have a question. My name is Lee Francis Rickson, and I notice on the agenda that you're going to have the Christmas tree lighting at the Mary C, which of course is good for me because I can't even drive out in the dark and I can walk to the Mary C. But what happened to the tree lighting at Marshall Park and chocolate and Santa Claus? We're not doing that anymore.
That's a Jose function. That would be up to them whether they want to do it. We don't light some of the trees up in Marshall Park. And have some Christmas decorations. If they want to hold that function, it would be up to Jose.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Good evening. Sam Washington, representing Macedon Missionary Baptist Church, Chairman of the Board of Trustees. I just have a question, and with the Mississippi statute, it talks about the planning commission shall submit its written recommendation with respect to the proposed urban renewal plan to the local governing body within 30 days after receipt of the plan for review. Upon receipt of the recommendation of the planning commission, or if no recommendations are received within the 30 days, then without such recommendation, the local governing body may proceed with the hearing. But my question is, did the planning commission just decide not to make a recommendation? Or what happened with that? Because I know when the meeting was supposed to happen, it was canceled because I guess they said they had some computer problems and nothing ever came about that. So what happened with that recommendation, or we just bypassed it?
No.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, he represents one of the plaintiffs that are suing the city of Ocean Springs. So this matter is in litigation, and I would recommend to the mayor board not to respond to questions from a gentleman that's suing the city.
Well, you made that recommendation, if I may point out, Sister Peyton is also a plaintiff in that case. So if we're gonna do stuff, we need to be consistent.
Correct.
I support them. I am not involved in the lawsuit. My name is Sarah Godsey. I live at 808 DeSoto Street. I have just a couple things I want to address. One is that just if you take out even a few of the properties, the people who have opted out, that still does not address the concerns of the city as a whole. And the people that have spoken out that said they're also wanting to be represented and heard. It eliminates one fraction of this debate, but it does not solve the problem. Also, if the city was ever at all interested in actually listening to its citizens, you would have asked us to begin with and not after the fact. You would not have made these motions 6-8 months ago and not notified anybody, not let them know that their property had been marked as blighted or slummed, and that you were planning to take it over. The conversation needs to start at the other end, not at the back end. That's all I have.
Thank you.
James Bush, 805 Cambridge Drive. I'm a little bit perplexed as to why, Mayor, you can't answer the question that was asked. And the lawyer sits over here and say, well, you shouldn't say anything on an issue because there's a lawsuit in place. But the key thing is that I was in this room when the planning commission got the document, and they got the document at approximately at 8:30 that morning. And they stated then that we can't go back in and do anything with this because we've not had an opportunity to go back in and read this whole document. And it seems to me counterproductive for the lawyer now to come back in and say, you can't go back in and answer the question that was asked. Did the planning commission go back in and make the recommendation for this city to go back in and accept it? That's a simple question. I mean, it's not rocket science.
I'll answer to you, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you.
The planning commission tabled it that night, and then we had a public hearing, and then that's when we stopped, kind of pumped the brakes on this whole thing and started reviewing it. And like we told several of the people who we've had discussions with, that we're going to go back to square one again. So we're back to square one. So the planning commission has not seen the new document that will be put together yet to make a decision.
Thank you, very much.
Anybody else?
Good evening. My name is Richard L. Jackson. I'm not a plaintiff in this, but I am a member of the movement We Should Not Be Moved. I'm also an honorably discharged United States Army combat veteran. The question that I have is this. Throughout this process, which apparently was difficult on both sides, I saw where we reached out to a community leader. And my question was, out of all of the leaders up and down the Mississippi Gulf Coast, what factors led you to select Mr. Clark to be the community leader, to, try to be the liaison between yourself and these people? Mr. Clark never went to visit this body of people, nor did Mr. Clark ever consult with anybody dealing with any of the areas from 1 through 6 throughout Ocean Springs. So my question is, like I said, how did you pick him? And two, how would his choice or his input really be valid when he doesn't really know what these people want?
Can't speak on that.
Thank you.
We reached out to several people,
Okay.
and Mr. Clark, one of the gentlemen came in to speak with us. We reached out to several people.
Can I, since I have 1:23 seconds left, who are those other people that you reached out to? If you don't mind me asking, I'm not trying to be facetious.
Yeah, I'd rather not say that, but we reached out to.
But they all declined, correct?
Yes.
No try. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the next agenda item, on business.
I will say something.
We'll allow one more person to speak, and then we'll move on. We've already decided to move on.
Thank you.
My name is, I'm
Representative Lottie Gibson of 815 Pershing. When I look at y'all, I almost get sick to know that y'all taking away people's rights. When y'all nominated that blocked, the area blocked, y'all took away their rights. And you know it. And you're sitting up there with that smirk face. It's a God. He sees everything. You can run, but you can't hide. And you know, who raised y'all? Do you care? Do you care about other people? What's y'all religion to people? You was nominated to help people, not to help yourself. Everybody has a day. Every dog has a day. And I would hate to be y'all. And it almost makes me sick to know that these people been in their land all this time, and you don't care. Y'all never got in contact with us. Y'all made rules and regulations when y'all got ready. You didn't come to the community and ask what their input was. You just did what you wanted to do. How would you feel if somebody did you like that? You wouldn't feel too good. Like I said, God sits high and we sit low.
Okay, moving on to old business, need a motion to appoint Kevin Westbrook to the Civil Service Commission 6-year term ending June 30th, 2020. Motion by Mr. Cox.
Wait, we have okay, I'm confused here. We have an amended agenda that showed a Kristen. This is not okay. What showed up today? I didn't get it. Yes. Okay. My email's goofed up now. I'm gonna go to it. Okay.
Motion by Mr. Cox.
I'll make a motion to appoint Kevin Westbrook.
I'll second. Motion by Mr. Cox, by Mr. Pena. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Historic preservation appointments, we have 2 openings. We have,
We need to make a motion to appoint. Do I need to make separate motions, Mr. Attorney? Okay. Mike Doster and Charles Fowler to the Historic Preservation Commission.
motion by Mr. Second. Motion. Mr. Cox, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, discussion of the urban renewal map, area 4, and the rest of the areas included.
Can I respectfully ask you to speak into your microphones and repeat people's names? Because I have no idea who you just said and nominated, and I would like to make notes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the urban renewal map plan was started back in April of 2022 when we first mentioned the urban renewal plan. Here in the boardroom, we've been wrestling with this thing for 16, 18 months now. And like I said in the past, there was some errors made moving forward with this map. And after the second public hearing we had on it, we decided to pump the brakes and try to give some opportunity for the people who didn't want to participate in it to get out of it. This plan was never intended to take anyone's property. What the plan is designed to do is to assist people who want to improve their properties and to control the growth that is going to happen in Ocean Springs. Ocean Springs is going to grow. We're growing fast anyway. And this board appointed to do this will have some control. For instance, part of the urban renewal plan that's proposed now and will be proposed in the future is some property at the foot of Porter Avenue and the front beach. That property zone CMX, that property can be developed for a convenience store, fast food restaurant, dollar store, whatever. This plan will help guide people to do different developments there than what that could be done immediately. Something that fits with the scheme and what the long-term growth of Ocean Springs should be, and maintaining the charm of Ocean Springs. So that's what the plan was intended to do for day one. The last public hearing at the Civic Center, we offered everybody who wanted to get out of the plan to opt out of the plan. And we gave everybody a month to do that. So we actually have received some past the month, and we're going to honor those opt-outs also. About 2 weeks ago, I met with the pastor in Macedonia and some of the citizens, concerned citizens in Macedonia on Sunday afternoon. We showed them two different maps, the original map and then a map that we thought would take care of all the concerns that the citizens who wanted to opt out had. When we finished with receiving the opt-out forms, we went back and put it on the maps, both of them. And sure enough, the second map that we proposed to the group at the church was just what we thought it would be. You know, everybody who wanted to opt out is out of the zone, the second map. What the second map did was it took all of the residential zoning out of the urban renewal plan. So that map will be on display at City Hall for the next 2 weeks. And at the end of 2 weeks, the board will have a vote to what's the term on the old map?
In 2 weeks, it will be on our agenda, and for the board to vote on it. Included in that is the plan is that part of that vote or a separate motion will be filed to declare the old map null and void, and at the same time declare the current redevelopment plan or urban renewal plan null and void. And we will follow up that map then 2 weeks later with a new plan. That is the way I believe we're planning on going forward.
So that's the way all this will happen. So we've heard the citizens, we heard that they don't want to participate in it, and we're redrawing the maps like we said, like I said at church the other day, that we would start from ground zero again, and that's what we're doing. So we're not making any motions or anything this afternoon. That's just bringing everybody up to speed on where we are. If you look at the map there, that would be the everything inside the purple lines would be in the urban renewal zone. Everything outside of the lines will not be in the urban renewal zone. So, as proposed. So, moving to any board, have any questions, comments?
No, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I don't mean to interrupt you, sir. Who's on the board? You talked about a board, or who's on?
We have some members that, we have some people that have put in applications, but we can't put the board in place until we have an urban renewal plan.
Where do you get the application? This is my first time hearing.
It was announced. I mean, that happened back in April of last year. People who wanted to be, it was advertised, just like every other board. Okay, 9/11 commission appointment. Suggested that interim police chief Ryan Lemire serve as that 9/11 commission appointment. Need a motion. I'll make that motion, Mayor. Motion by Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Discuss scheduling quarterly meetings for finance and HR committees.
I put it on there.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Finish my notes. Yeah, no, this was just a conversation that we had trying to, formalize a little bit, get a little bit more organized as far as the two committees are concerned. Meeting on a more consistent basis because as there's more and more activity, as we're hiring more people and we're discussing the different departments, we thought it prudent to meet on a more consistent basis. And just right now, we're meeting kind of reactively, and so we thought it best to start to think proactively.
I do suggest if we're gonna do that, we pick like maybe the last Thursday of the month for one of them or something, so, or the quarter. That way, whichever committee you're on, you'll know there should be a meeting 4 times a year on a certain time, so your calendars can be set.
And do we want to make this effective immediately or effective, January 1?
It's up to you all.
It's up to y'all.
I'm fine with you scheduling quarterly, but I mean, hopefully you're meeting more than that already. I mean, it should be quarterly and as needed.
Well, yeah, right, now it's as needed, it's not really quarterly, so this is kind of apropos.
It just might make us think about things that we could discuss more if you knew that meeting was coming. You would start, you know what I'm saying? So I would suggest possibly the last week of a quarter, maybe one on Tuesday, one on Thursday or something. Those might be easy to kind of remember the dates.
So you want to start the first of the quarter or last of the quarter, December or January? First one in December.
Especially for finance, it makes a lot of
Finance, I mean,
sense.
it makes more sense for us to do it in the quarter.
Now, December could get complicated because it's the week between Christmas and New Year's, so we might, that might need to be moved
I
on.
know currently HR is meeting as needed, and that's fine, because we have a few things on the agenda already. So I would recommend that the HR committee meet after the first of the year. So first, so probably January, and then January, so probably we meet anyway. Or do you want to do it at the end of March? Well, we are already. No, these are independent committees. So the finance committee will meet. Okay, so January.
Yeah, I just don't want to say the last week in December, but that's a good time for us to start.
So the last week in January for HR committee. Finance wants to do.
Let's stay consistent. Let's do them the last week of January. Did one of y'all take Tuesday, one of you take Thursday?
Y'all just decide and just let us know. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, moving on to item C, discuss the approval of Academic Technologies, Inc. to improve the functionality of the audio system, assuming the video system, City Hall's boardroom software.
My name's Kat, like meow meow. Got me fruit the eyes, sorry. So we have looked into, we had 3 companies come in. 2 gave us a bid, the lowest one is on the agenda. They're just set up, the new Jackson County. We're gonna have a camera back here in the back. We're gonna have a camera right here on the side that will shoot to the podium. We'll have 6 speakers in the whole, 6 speakers back here so that we can hear you guys. You will continue to have your microphones. This will also be there. And we'll have a microphone in the middle that will drop and only pick up this half of the room. I don't know how the program works with that, but they say they can do it. It'll also still be able to record all the stuff on the system, and then we'll have it set up on Raven's laptop, that computer, and my computer in case somebody is out. We all have technology to get it running and going. Any questions?
We've had some comments about people who are watching online not being able to hear us had some comments in this room about them not being able to hear us.
Coincidentally, I just got a text that said they cannot hear you.
That's the reason we're trying to.
Yes, and our our old live stream has died. So right now we're using a laptop, which does not do well. We have one little cord that's been patched. If you know anything about patching, the more you patch something, the less it's gonna work. So, and the goal is to get it where everyone in the community can hear, and everyone can hear you guys up here. Because I know that speaker right now is feeding back, because I can hear a buzz.
If you notice too, this wasn't budgeted, because we didn't know we were gonna try to replace the system. So if y'all vote to do this, it is built in there to do a budget amendment to remove it from English.
Y'all have any questions?
What about follow-up cat maintenance or anything? Once they install it, will they come back?
He told me yes.
Are they a local firm?
No, sir. Unfortunately, the local company that I got with, they didn't return anything. I've like pestered them for 2 or 3 weeks because I would prefer someone local. This is someone out of Jackson. They're the closest one. The other person was further than Jackson, so kind of got the middle person.
This is who put the counties in.
Yes.
Make sure we had some follow-up after the fact.
Yes, and they're gonna show me and Raven to how to run the programs. So if she's out, we got back each other.
I guess my question is, can y'all hear me in the back?
I can hear you just fine. The rest of you don't even know.
Nobody can hear me in the back?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're one of the best ones. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm just saying.
The only issue is I have a hard time spending this kind of money to improve the speaker system, but if we just talk a little louder.
Well, unfortunately, like when you're talking right now, I don't know if you can hear it, but it is ringing.
Yeah.
As well as when you're talking.
I just had somebody text me and said they can.
It's more about the live stream than anything else.
I do believe it's gonna be better for the live stream. It's gonna be one line instead of this patches. It's like a tube you put together and you see little holes and you keep on putting duct tape and it just leaks out of the tube. That's basically what we're doing, is leaking out the tube and not getting where we need to go.
There's also been a lot of feedback too, as far as visually. There's been things that have been presented on these boards that people on the live screen, a lot of people can't see. And I mean, they're impacted as well, not being able to see the same things that everybody in the room can see.
I don't know that they will see that. I think they will see, I'm not exactly sure, they will see y'all. And then that, the camera over there, I think will see.
Come straight directly with the podium. So you know how when you have 2 screens on your TV and you have a little lock screen, the podium people will be in the little lock screen. So you can see a screen, so you can see them talking and you know who's up there.
Will we have a patch of these screens though? Because like in this room, I can barely see them. So if I'm watching the meeting from a live stream, are you gonna have a patch for me to see what y'all are putting up on these screens? I mean, otherwise, kind of what's the point?
The point is, we're trying to be more transparent, which is what people have asked us to be.
So I'm gonna ask if we're gonna do
You're out of
20.
order. You're out of order. This is not something for them to have a big
I apologize.
conversation about. It's between the board.
Ma'am, I think you could bring the agenda up on a computer at home and everything they're seeing, you can see.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? If you just, on the website, you can follow, because all the items are out there.
The 2 screens.
Okay, so that was my mistake, sorry.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I'm here to answer any questions you guys got.
Anybody have any questions? It's not just audio, it's audio and video. So.
Yes, it will be audio, video, and it can be movable if we ever need to move it somewhere. The speakers won't be movable, but the rest of the stuff, they said they can move it in a day or 2 to get it out, but it is movable.
All right, is there any more conversation, more questions? Is there a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Pena, second by Ms. Burgess. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Got, ayes and no nays. Does anybody have anything on the consent agenda?
7,
item D.
D is a boy.
I have D. D is David.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of items B and D.
Second. Mr. Wade, all in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Okay, item 7B. Now, this is to approve the special event permit application for the Walton Anderson Museum for the Silent Night event on December 2nd, at 5:30 until midnight. I'm amending this to put a road closure from 1 PM to 12 AM. And I guess that's gonna be from Joseph to Porter. So we shut the road down for 12 hours. Yep.
They need to bring in their production crew. They asked for 8, but we pushed it back.
What's the date? We're about St. Alphonsus Day for students.
Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday? Yeah. Okay.
It's the same we did last year.
Yes.
Same, yes, okay.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Augmiron, second by Mr. Cox, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, D.
I need to recuse myself on this one. And
Along with mine, I have recused also, Mayor.
And I'll make a motion to authorize waiving the rental fee. It says Ryan Youth Center, but that'll be for the voting precinct for the Duchess Club, of Ocean Springs, starting Friday, December 8th through December 19th for the annual doll and toy campaign for Christmas to advertise the resources of the city.
Motion by Mr. Hibby, second by Mr. Alderman. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item 8A. We have anything to pull from the docket of claims. Make a motion that we approve docket of claims, all expenditures are appropriate and authorized by law and spread summary on the minutes. Motion by Mr. Alderman, second by Ms. Burgess, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Does anyone have any questions on the record budget?
I'll make a motion to accept the monthly budget report.
Motion by Mr. Hibby. Second by Mr. Pena, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 2022 Fort Bayou Area Drainage and Water Improvement Project, Patty, discuss.
Carolyn, I did not discuss it. We just realized that after, while we were meeting on projects, that project had went over 127,000. And so this is just to clean it up because that was a year ago.
It's not so much that the project went over, it was underfunded. This was the CDBG money we received, and we just did not receive enough. So we had hoped at that time that the timing would work where we could request additional funds, but the timing just didn't work. So we had anticipated covering that with our water sewer repairs on the wall. So we weren't able to do those costs very soon. So then the project didn't go over. It didn't cost the money we were under.
Okay, we need a motion. We need a motion to fix extra expenditures, Patty?
Sorry?
We need a motion to approve the extra
Yes.
expenditure.
It has come out of unique.
I'll make the motion to approve that, Mr. Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Hibby. Second by Mr. Alderman, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is general public comment. Public is invited to address the board for 3 minutes each, or a maximum of 30 minutes. Only 2 speakers will be allowed per side of each issue. Please identify yourself before speaking.
Sorry, Steve Francis Quickman again. I've been reading lately about the percentage of falls that are occurring in our older population. Considering that I'm part of that, I will be 79 in December. And I've also read that Tai Chi helps prevent falls. I would like for our Parks and Recreation people to finally authorize something for older people, not just for tourists and children. We have Freedom Field, although I don't understand why it's all blocked off right now. I thought kids had been playing soccer down there. But at any rate, that would be a wonderful place to have Tai Chi. When I lived in Japan, I saw people much older than me squatting down, standing up, never losing any balance. And so, if that would be possible, I know a person who used to teach Tai Chi for my son in Biloxi. And he might be available. You might know somebody that's available. But I would like to see something available for our older population to do that would help us stay healthier and utilize some of the city parks and recreation things.
I was at the senior center not long ago, and they were teaching balance and stuff. So I think they already have a program they're teaching at that facility. Now I don't know who attends.
Community Action of South Mississippi is who runs the senior center here in Ocean Springs, and the director there is very approachable. If there's any program requests or things like that,
You have to be a member there though. And I work at my church. And
No, I don't think, you just gotta show up. You don't have to be a member.
Well, when I went, they told me that I had to be and had paperwork to fill out.
They might have some paperwork to fill out, but I don't think you have to be like, I don't think it's a selected group of people. I think if you fill out the paperwork, I think they allow it.
they
Well, I still work at my church pantry Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. I was hoping maybe we could have something that would be like in the afternoon, people can get out. We're hopefully going to get some cold weather pretty soon, and it's generally warmer in the afternoon.
If I better get Steven trained to be an instructor.
Yeah, Alderman Cox and I were discussing the Freedom Field thing the other day, and it's an overseat that's going on there. Right, that's.
He'll be able to, whatever.
It's awful.
Yes, sir.
Richard L. Jackson again. I just have one more question. With the newly proposed area for a map, will the blight and slum designation remain on all the properties previously designated as blight and slum under the first area for a map? Or will it all just? All right, thank you.
I've got just 3 items. They're gonna be very brief, straight to the point. James Lewis, Eagle Fire, Canebrake Drive. Number one, I want to thank you guys for getting the signs up at MLK for the National Missionary Baptist Church. One thing that we still like, and we still got people that don't understand the city is 20 miles an hour because they're still going a little bit faster. You might need to look in that. Secondly, I know that you all had a board conference up here. You said that the conversation between you and the board. I'm only saying this because at the Civic Center, when the church went in, they had a nice acoustic person that was there that put that system in. And you all might want to go back in and communicate with them when you talk about doing this system here. Just a recommendation, not trying to tell you how to do your job.
No, you would.
And last but not least, we have to work together as a city. And we have to respect each other, and that's very important. When we lose the communication aspect, that creates a headache for all of us. We gotta work together, not separate. Thanks very kindly on that statement.
I agree with you 100%. Anybody else who would like to address the board?
No more. Ward 2. A couple things I just wanted to thank y'all for doing. I know Jennifer and Bobby recused themselves about the Dutchess Club, but it certainly is a worthy cause that these kids in our town can't get with clothes, dock shoes, basic things. We'll be able to, Ryan's son will be able to place with that logistically to happen. Thank you for doing that. I want to thank y'all for supporting the Wise Humanitarian banquet, which is this Friday night. That is a program that's their main fundraiser for providing scholarships to kids all along the Gulf Coast to participate in a lot of programs, and that is a big event. Thank you all for your support. And finally, I want to thank pretty much everybody in the city, all the businesses, but particularly for Aldermen and Mayor for your support for the Peter Anderson Festival. I think it was one of our most well-attended. The weather was great, but it really required the cooperation. Police, fire, our public works people work, tirelessly to really keep the city looking good. I'm gonna miss some of the people, but I know I saw.
Chamber of the volunteers.
Oh, yeah, a lot of volunteers that certainly showed up, the Mayor's Youth Council, but I know, Bobby and Kevin and Ricky were out there early in the morning till late at night. I sure appreciate y'all's, help and support, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill.
I'm Amy Carter. I live at 131 Upper Vista Drive. I know in history, especially between the 50s and into the 70s, urban renewal was used in a very devastating way. Over 300,000 families were displaced during that era of time of urban renewal. Time passed. People started calling it something else, but urban renewal still has a stinking history. And so I think the city needs to realize that with that history comes a lot of responsibility from you guys to the constituents in your city. History follows us everywhere. And this is the city of discovery. It has a beautiful history. So I ask you, please, to think hard, long, considerately who you are affecting by this urban renewal. It is not just African American families. However, urban renewal has consistently, over the decades, affected people of color. I think you can then understand why our community, which has always been a safe, warm place to live, is suddenly not that for these families. I'd also like to thank Mr. Zellner for coming forward, because I don't know if you realize it, he came and spoke. But he is also a part of the lawsuit with the city. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor, I have one everybody, and I forgot. I need to get an application for the urban renewal board. Is that still possible?
The board has been selected, they just have.
Oh, it has been selected. That's not my understanding of the conversation that was had.
The applicants have been accepted, they're just not able to act in their capacity because the urban renewal plan is not passed.
When will we be able to get a list of that? Who's gonna be on board?
Public records request.
Thank you.
It's a authority. The board is called.
Can I say something else? Please? This is about patience. I have spoken with you before about Dr. Murs, because he was a mainstay in this community for many years. And his father could no end for his bench to be moved, and a garbage can sitting there by his plaque, where he's telling people to exercise the right to be happy. My suggestion would be that at Freedom Field, the last oak tree down there where you have a gate going out to the parking lot, I have seen people have to take chairs and sit there. There is no bench in that area. There's not a lot of grass. It would be a perfect place to move his plaque, put it there in his bench there, and let's honor him instead of desecrating his memory. Also, you told me that benches were moved because people sleeping on them.
The only bench I ever saw a homeless person sleep on, I don't know if he was homeless, was about 6 o'clock one morning in front of the Pink Rooster. And he was sleeping, he looked like he was about 19 years old, and I said, thank you, Lord. Instead of getting in his car and driving drunk and killing somebody, he lay down and went to sleep. The next day, that bench was gone. So, you know, they're moving benches all over where old people like me can get up and try to walk the dog downtown in the morning, don't have any place to sit around.
Well, we'll get with Dr. First Family and see if that location is good for them.
I would appreciate that. I think it would be much nicer.
I just wanted to hit on 3 more points, Sarah Godsey again. One was from 7 EE, FF and GG. I would just like, I spoke at one of the other meetings about short-term rentals, and I would just like to readdress the fact that I think we need to be cautious and prudent in how many short-term rentals we are constantly approving. I think that it affects our schools and the kids who go to them, as well as our communities, the people that live here downtown, and certainly the people in this district where you've now created an unlimited short-term rental area. That's District 4, Area 4, whatever you want to call it. The other point would be audio-visual. I was just trying to say, and I apologize for speaking out of turn. I was not trying to be inappropriate, but if there is some way, since we're gonna be paying someone $22,000 to do something, if there is some way to include the agenda items, like in detail, on a screen as you're going through them, that would be helpful. And lastly, I would like to redress, once again, the city as a whole, not just the people from one district, are being impacted by this urban renewal plan and should be taken into consideration, as well as the businesses in that area of the new map you've proposed. My understanding is that the businesses have not been heard and have not been given consideration for what it is that they would like to see happen to their property. That's it. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, moving on to Alderman Forum on Burgess.
Just really quickly, so the kayak launch, Stephen, we got that ready to go, right? We're ordering that, and we're gonna get an ETA on that. And Sarah, if we could get together and go over my list sometime this week, that would be fantastic. And then one little note, the Ocean Springs High School JROTC is having their Veterans Breakfast at 9 a.m. at the high school in the cafeteria. All are welcome. So tomorrow. Did I not say that? I'm sorry. Tomorrow. So at 9 o'clock at the high school. If you can make that and bring a veteran with you, or if you are a veteran, please come. You're welcome.
I want, gentlemen, I'm gonna use, and lady, I'm gonna use $400 of my award money for some entrance. Water's Edge, entrance, and that's all.
I'm good.
I just want to thank Bill. I wasn't talking about Big Kevin and Ricky as volunteers, but all the other volunteers.
No, I know. Yeah, no, we got
with the chamber was, I mean, they worked their tails off. When we opened up at 9 o'clock all the way to the finish, so I want to make sure we thank all the volunteers. That's all I have.
Okay, yeah, as far as Peter Anderson went,
Mr. Mayor, excuse me, I apologize. I think we need to go back and make a motion.
Since it's not adopted.
I'll make a motion that I use $400 of my award money for the maintenance of Water's Edge entrance and neutral.
Maria, second by Mr. Cox, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Yeah, as far as the Peter Anderson Festival went, and Bobby said he's been to many of these festivals, never seen so many people at the festival. I know it caused some inconvenience to people who live downtown in the festival area. The good thing about it is only 2 days a year, and but it brings a lot of positive publicity for the city throughout the state and the region. And the real unsung heroes of all this are public works, fire, and police. They are out late early morning along with the aldermen. And then one gentleman who hasn't been mentioned, but he's not here, is Jim Cody. Jim's been doing this for a long time. He spends a lot of time different events in the city. So I want to make sure Jim's name gets mentioned. Also, starting right now, this week, we'll be wrapping lights of the oak trees on Washington, some on Government, some on Porter, Mary C. lights, along with some at Fort Marathon. And so anyway, we'll have that light display again for the city. I think everybody really liked that last year. So we're gonna line it up earlier. Hopefully by Thanksgiving or that weekend, we'll light the trees up and keep them through the Epiphany. Anyway, I think that's it.
I do have a motion to go into closed session there.
Okay, we need a motion to go in, got a motion to go into closed sessions to discuss the need for executive session. Okay, motion by Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Wade. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. It's in closed session.
I gotta get right here. I know.